Good morning, friends. Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live. And according to President Joe Biden, there are no red lines for Israel over Gaza. I guess they can just go ahead and maim and kill as many as they would like because they now have the backing of the U.S. President Joe Biden to do anything that they so desire. According to the article here on Sputnik, U.S. President Joe Biden said he acknowledges no red lines regarding Israeli actions in Gaza as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu enforces mass starvation on the enclave of 2.2 million residents. He said, "I'm never going to leave Israel. The defense of Israel is still critical, so there is no red line." He said in an interview with liberal news outlet MSNBC, however, the president noted that Netanyahu, with his actions in Gaza, is harming Israel more than helping it, turning the whole world against the Jewish state, Biden said. Well, that's exactly what the agenda is. If you can't get prophecy to fulfill the way you think it should fulfill, well, go and create a problem in order to make it fulfill the way you think it should fulfill, right? That's exactly what the doctrine is in Israel, you know. Do more evil so that the Messiah will come. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. Well, here's a good example of exactly one of those red lines they're not going to cross. Israeli protesters try to stop aid from entering into Gaza. And as they said in there, not even a loaf of bread is going to be allowed to go in to Gaza.
Murder the people who take them chatufim 151 days. You understand that? The women are being abused. They got no food. And we give food to Hamas.
Police try to move the protesters on, but soon abandon their efforts and allow them to stay. A teenage girl is briefly detained and called a heroine when she's released. This is not the border with Gaza. We're actually a long way from it. Over there, behind that big gate, that's Egypt. But what happens here is that trucks filled with aid for Gaza come through the gate and go to an Israeli inspection station. Trucks line up on the Egyptian side.
And of course, it just doesn't make it in, or very, very little ever makes it in at this point now. I want to show you also, too, this is RGRU, the death toll in Gaza Strip exceeding 31,000 people now. 72,654 are wounded. Oh, gosh. And strikes on the Gaza Strip since October the 7th, 2023, the Gaza Health Ministry said in a statement on Sunday. And just to kind of give you a little perspective of what it looks like, this here giving you a neighborhood in Gaza, and make it a little bit bigger. That's before. This is after. Totally leveled. Apartment buildings, totally leveled. Before, after. Again, leveled. Before and after. Well, sorry, yeah, I guess I did. Well, I can't quite. Yeah, there we go. There you go. There's your after picture there. Just practically every house in the entire area gone. Before, and of course that's another one that's after. Let's see, that's after too. You can't quite tell it as easily. Let me see if we can make it a little bit bigger on the screen here for you. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see the utter devastation in these pictures here. Entire neighborhoods leveled to ruins. No wonder why the death toll is so massive in this country. It's because of the evils that are being allowed, all in the name of going after Hamas. Something that Netanyahu helped fund to the tunes of millions of dollars, and said that if he didn't have a Hamas, he would have a Palestinian state. And then that very uncanny incursion into Israel on October the 7th, 2023, that left so many vulnerable Israelis dead, 1,400 to be roughly the estimate there, as a result of pulling their weapons from their armories, pulling the security cameras and the computers to where the border fence could not be watched. Yeah, think about it. Think about it when you start thinking about the Israelis that were murdered. It wasn't the Hamas that came in and pulled all this off. That was done prior to. Hamas didn't come in and take the armories away from the settlements around Gaza. Sederot and the likes of it, that had their armories pulled just weeks before the incursion. Hamas was not the one that moved the military from the Gaza border and sent them into the West Bank so there would be nobody there to help protect the Israelis when it happened. Yeah, think about it real deeply. This man right here, another very sad story there, 72 years old, shot and killed in his home, murdered. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Here's the video of it. Israeli soldiers talking about what happened when they killed him. The man, by the way, is nearly deaf. He just doesn't want him to shoot him, and so he shoots him. No, he hid beside the bed. All respect. Oh, smile, laugh. Let's take out another one, right? My goodness. Unreal. Of course, Israelis are protesting once again as well over this whole issue. The hostages that are still being held, Netanyahu, they're calling out for his resignation. And I'm sure the main ones that are also protesting are those that are part of the, that were against his judicial reforms. That's the one group that is coming out in massive numbers. So no, not all Israelis are for leveling Gaza, although the extremists are, no doubt. So what a shame that we see there going on. Turning in towards Ukraine here, very interesting thing that came out here. Pope Francis urges Ukraine to negotiate rather than to lose a war to Russia. Can you believe it? Yeah, exactly. Yes. You know why? They don't want the Russian Orthodox Church taken back over after the Vatican worked so hard to bring about the collapse of the Soviet Union. They know exactly what that would bring. And also in the final news here for today, India to send 10,000 more troops to the border with China and dares Beijing to bat an eye. That's something that is going on as well. And said India is likely to send 10,000 more troops to its disputed border with China in a move that would potentially exacerbate tensions between the two Asian giants amid a years-long border standoff. They share approximately 3,400 kilometers, and the tensions reached a peak in June of 2020, when 20 Indian soldiers and an unspecified number of Chinese forces were killed following a brutal skirmish on the Himalayan border. Since then, military leaders from the two countries have held many rounds of talks to resolve tensions, but have yet to resolve core disagreements on key points of friction. On a contingent of 10,000 or more soldiers is now being redirected from the country's western border and deployed to the front line with China, a senior India official told Bloomberg. Kind of makes you wonder if they don't think that India or China is getting ready to make a move. I don't expect China to really make a move at this particular point in time. They're more concerned about Taiwan, Indonesia, Philippines, places like that, and overtaking what the U.S. has been controlling for all these decades. Anyway, I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Got to travel today, and I do apologize for our Zoom that I was going to try to do last night. I'd already been up 48 hours by the time I got close time for that Zoom, and just did not have that ability to keep that stamina going there. I will say, though, that energy patch from LifeWave, it's not the X39. They have one for energy that was developed for the Navy SEALs by David Schmidt. And you put that thing on, boy, it's going to make you like the Energizer Bunny, except you're going to have long life Energizers. And yeah, it was actually developed where you could literally stay up 48 hours. They did it for the submariners or something to that effect there. So pretty cool. And yeah, I do use it from time to time when I need that, because for some reason I've been having energy issues here lately. And it's non-transdermal, no drugs, no stimulants, no caffeine pills, no things to race your heart. It's just a subtle boost of energy, and it actually takes your body fat. I'm not trying to make a commercial out of this. Just wanted to throw that in there because it is kind of interesting. Uses your own body fat and converts your body fat into the energy. So you burn about an extra 500 calories a day just from wearing that patch. So I can use a little bit of fat burning myself. So Anyway, we will be doing a Zoom tonight, though. That is a LifeWave Zoom, and I'll probably just reschedule for this Thursday. That's when I normally like to do that broadcast for in-depth teaching. Stephen Ben-Nun, www.stephenbennoon.com is the teaching Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. But tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will have a Zoom meeting. If you happen to join in, I'll talk about that energy patch again there. We actually have a doctor coming in tonight, going to be talking about the different products that we have. I don't know exactly. My wife has that kind of scheduled together. You're welcome to come. That's www.x39hub.com. I'll put the links in the description below if you'd like to learn more about that. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for your support of the broadcast, IsraeliNewsLive.org. And if you can support us online, that would really be helpful. I'm back and forth to Florida so much. I do get to the post office here, Stephen Ben-Nun, like it's above my head, at P.O. Box 156, Sunbright, Tennessee 37872. But if you click here online, you can go right to us there. By the way, that's Dr. On the website there. That's Dr. Galen Tesla. And really brilliant man, and an amazing scientist as well, and who was already into this type technology. That's one of the really great reasons I have such a respect for him and his knowledge on the products there that we're involved in there. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a blessed day.